everybody. Welcome back to another episode here on Truly Bedrock. I am your host, BJ, and today we are starting off here in the shopping district where we left off our Twitch stream. TB stream weekend, you guys were amazing. Thank you very much for all the support, the love, the cheers, the subscriptions. You guys made it such a great day. I really appreciate that. And we did a little bit of work on Killer Bees, and so today I think we're going to go ahead and finish off Killer Bees and get this thing ready and going. As a shop, I need to make some diamonds bad. You guys saw on the stream I only have like 40 diamonds, so we got to get some profit going here. So let's go ahead and do this as a time lapse. I think would be a really good idea. Just get through the build really fast, and then we can spend some time inside or doing some decorating around the outside. I think that will be a lot of fun. And then we're going to meet up with Rogue to talk about the cave spider farm a little bit. And then maybe we'll end up today's episode over in the base area. Got to put this right there where we can work on the pallet for the buildings and for the walls around the village. But first, time lapse. Now we just need to do a bit of work on the inside. As you can see, I've already got a little bit of it done. I started playing with the floor a little bit. I decided to change out what might typically be the black concrete in the pattern in here with the strip dark oak, and I actually really like the way that this turned out. These two colors, this brown and this yellow, go together really, really well. So I got a lot of work to do in the inside. I got to finish up the floor. I got to start laying out where all the displays are going to go, and then I need to actually price them as well. And maybe we'll do that in our stream on Thursday. I think that would be a fun thing to do together, is to actually do the displays, do the sample Trident killers, and then we can price them all together. But before we do that, I have to finish up the floor. And in the meantime, while I'm doing this, how about we take a few minutes, and Rogue Fox and I actually met a few days ago to talk about what we're going to do on the cave spider spawner, the 6 of them, to kill them all and to get our XP out of them. And he has some ideas, and so we talked a little bit, walked around, showed off the cave spider farm together. Oh, did I place it in the right spot? Oh, that's in the wrong spot. That's right, right there. Got to do my patterns correctly. But we got together and we chatted for a little bit, and we recorded it. So here's me and Rogue Fox talking about how we're going to be killing tons and tons of spiders. All right, so we're here with Mr. Rogue Fox, who is going to design the nether killing system, I guess we could call it. Attempt to anyway, with his redstone wizardry. Or at least something anyway. So I thought I'd come and show you. I know you've seen a little bit of this in the video, and I've been doing some work on it today, but I thought I'd at least show you around the cave. And people have asked me, what does Rogue get out of this deal if he's building the killer? And I think that maybe this is a good time to negotiate, although there's not really a negotiation. I think we were just going to split the string and stuff. You can use whatever you need out of it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what we were talking about. I know we discussed possibly doing... if I was going to grow some, I'd be bamboo. I think we were talking about scaffolding. Yep. And other than that, it'd just be fun. This is actually like a really fun project. I really like what you did with the place. I haven't seen so many spawners in one spot.
I wish I could get the other ones turned on. And I think someone has suggested in my last stream that I turn on the skeleton spawner with my camera account, but it just feels a little bit cheaty to me, even though I think there are some people on the server that do that. But
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like yeah, it does feel kind of cheaty, but then I don't know. I understand people don't have all the time to be on either. You need AFK, so
Yeah, no kidding. Well, here, I'm going to turn it on. You want to stand over there? I'll turn it on for you. I don't know if you've had a chance to actually activate it yet, but it's
no, I have
rather.
not. I didn't want to touch anything when I saw it earlier, knowing me I was probably going to break it. I saw the lever, I was tempted, but no, I haven't touched anything yet.
It's a little disconcerting to see that many spiders drop at once. So it's here you go.
Oh wow.
And that was just one cycle. I don't have the Trident Killer turned on right now because I thought this you could get the full effect of the. And this is the one drawback also of having this little elevator here is that sometimes they'll come up and say hi.
Oh, okay. As long as it doesn't do any damage. Now,
It could.
maybe it's just dark, but is this a hole I can fall into?
No, you do not want to fall down the hole. I opened that up so that you could just kind of have a quick, direct look down because it's a little hard to see from the edge. So
Yeah. I was looking at it. I'm glad I was crouched. I thought there was glass, and I almost walked right down into it.
That might be an exact replay of pretty much at least one of the times that I died the last couple of days, and I lost all of my stuff because you can't get back down in there again. So, but here I'll turn on the Trident Killer really quick, so that you can see that working down there. So at least you know where. I'll show you where the switch is too, so that if you're down there working and something gets in your way, then you can stand over here, and then the XP will come up and get you. Right in that location. At least some of it comes up anyway. Not as much as I'd like, but in some string, apparently.
Now, with the spider coming up occasionally, will it come through and actually knock us off into the pit of spiders?
At least one of the times I died, yes. So it's a good idea to keep that closed. It's what I've been doing is that's a good way to do that to set where I need to be, and then I'll just close it from there, and then the XP will get you. Because the block that you're standing on is the last one that will activate all 6 spawners from that direction. So if you stand on top of the trapdoor, it won't work. All of them. This is where all the drops are coming in, but most of it's just from construction. So there's not much in the way of. But yeah, that string and those spider eyes are all from that little test we just did. So it's pretty.
Oh wow!
You get quite a bit out of it.
First batch.
Yep, that first batch was
really good.
Almost a stack of string. So. I think it probably helps that I was holding my looting sword when the Trident Killer was going, so...
Right, and I've never used a Trident Killer, so that's why I'm like... I don't know anything about him. Might have to buy one of your kits I saw there.
I'll give you a special discount for your assistance. In fact, I might even just give you one if you want it. I'll even install it if you need it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. So I'm supposed to build the killing system, but I want to have you install the killing system for me.
All right, now we can go up and check out the nether really quick. I haven't done much there. The problem was I covered up my way to get out of here, so we might have to cut this part because I have no idea how to get... Oh, I think it's over here. Is this it? Yeah, here we go.
1 eternity later.
All right, so this is the portal. So when I built the little box of portals down below the killer, we can go ahead and break some of this out probably right now. I built this one. And so I have already linked all the portals together. I know that they work really well. So this location I know works, and I think it could move this direction if it needs to, a block or two, and it should be okay. But otherwise, I'm not 100% sure. But if you tear all that stuff out around those portals and get it lit again, then you can move it around however you need. But yeah, this is... And also, if you go up, I know I have my stairs that go up to the shopping district up there. If you need to rip them out, don't worry about it. I'm happy to work around those. You can do whatever you want in here, my friend.
And again, I know we were been discussing how to actually, since this is the nether and we can't use water, discussing ways to keep them down, because I know they're inclined to just go to the ceiling.
Yep.
Another good way is, I guess, if they see us, then they'll be... want a piece of us and just hopefully come down to where we want them to be.
Too. Yep. And we talked about maybe even, I don't know if triple piston extenders work in Bedrock. I've never tried to even build one. But that was the other thought too, is maybe that we can push them down from above into a single block down below or something like that, or a couple of blocks. And I did have fence posts in here because those fence posts are, of course, more than a block high. And I was actually surprised at how high up they sat. That's why I was able to put in this trapdoor, and have this gap that's looks like more than half a block, and they couldn't get through. That this was trapping them from getting through, which I thought was kind of interesting.
So it looks like I'm going to have some work cut out for me then. Again, without the assistance of water, we're just going to have to get creative. I know I shared an idea. I don't want to spoil it, but I do have an idea of how we can try to keep them, like you said, contained in one spot. I'm not sure if it's really going to work, but I think it would be pretty fun to see if it does.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah. There'll be definitely some trial and error, and if I know you have a bit of work cut out for you in the overworld, so at least that gives me some time to figure things out on this end, on the nether side.
Yep, totally. I still got a lot of work to do in those caves to get them to where I'm pretty happy with it. So I think we got a couple of weeks probably before this has to be kind of fully up and running. Back over in my base area, I wanted to show you this because I have no idea what's going on. I'm curious if anybody else knows anything about why this might be the case. But you see this right here? I have this one spot that these llamas keep spawning in, and I keep coming back in here and killing them, and I have no idea why they keep spawning right in this one block area. It's the strangest thing. And I can just come in here and poor llamas, I suppose. But I it's a good source of leather. I just have no idea why they keep spawning right there. It's the strangest thing, and it's that one block. There's got to be some sort of spawning mechanic that makes that happen. Strangest thing. And I learned this from Foxy. Let's see if I can kill this guy so he doesn't give me the the bad omen. Come on, you can keep going. No, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. I can feel it. Because I'm not going to fight you guys again this season like I did last season. It's not worth it. No bad omen for you. I will take your banner, though. All right, let's talk a little bit about what our plan is for this season. We're up here at my base area now, and we are going to look out over as much as we can the area that we're going to be working on here. And so right down here below me is about where the spider farm is, just almost directly underneath me. And of course this is the base, the village area, and then just beyond right back over there is about where the ravine is. And so we're on opposite ends of the village from the ravine, and we'll have a fair amount of area to get from here, which is sort of the end of the village, up to the spider farm and up to what I want to build up in here. And I'm debating on how much to talk about what I want to do up in this area, and I think I'm going to leave it a little bit, other than to say this is going to be a pretty big build up here on this cliff overlooking the village. And part of the reason is that these villagers are going to play an important part of the story a little bit later on in the season. And so we're going to lean a little bit into the lore and a little bit more storytelling, just kind of to add some fun and character to the season after we get some of the base sort of set up. And all of these elements are going to definitely play into that. But one of the things that we want to do today, I think, is let's talk. Oh no, this is going to hurt. Oh, that did hurt. That is one of the things that I do not like about Bedrock, is for some reason it does not like it. When you use your shovel and try to dig it straight down in a column like this. There we go. I'm surprised I didn't die. Typically I die. Oh, look, there's a fox. Oh, I'm definitely going to want to get me a fox. I've already got a dog. I don't know if I've actually shown that off yet. It's back over at the spawn village. I do have a puppers over there, but we haven't named. We'll have to do that either on a stream or in an episode coming up soon. And then we got to get cats and we got to get some foxes. We're going to have lots of wildlife in our village. So all that to say, let's talk a little bit about what the plan is. So like I said, we want to put together a palette, but the palette is going to be based definitely on what this village already is. We're in the middle of a spruce forest. We have a lot of cobblestone and other things like that that are used in the build in the village. And of course, we're going to use those materials. It's not going to necessarily be medieval per se, but I think we're definitely going to use those as a basis for all the materials. And then we're definitely going to start introducing in some other blocks. And I'm going to build a little palette up in here that we can continue to add to. Oh, hey, buddy. That we can continue to add to over the season and end up talking about things. And the big build I'm going to have up here is not going to be related to this at all. In fact, it's going to be a very modern build, but it's going to be specifically on purpose. But one of the things we want to do is we definitely want to start clearing out the area between this hill, and the village, and the ravine. And not too much, but get a lot of these trees out of the way, because we're going to be building a wall around the entire thing. And I had this really interesting idea of how how tall this wall is going to be and how close it's going to be built to all the buildings. And I ran into a little bit of a challenge last season by overthinking how big of the build I wanted to be. So I'm a little bit worried about it, but I think we could do it. I think we could do this. I think it's going to go really well. So let me go ahead and get some materials out, and we're going to start talking about the block palette for what this area is going to look like. Beautiful new day. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about pallets. The pallets that we're planning on having for our village builds, for the restoration of the village and the other things we're going to be building in this area. Hopefully we don't die from zombies. Oh, there's a creeper right there. Better take him out right now, just in case. You leave that fox alone. Anyway, we have the materials that we want to talk about a little bit. So, of course, we are in the middle of a spruce forest, and the village we have over here has a tremendous amount of cobble and mossy cobble. So we're going to be relying a lot on spruce woods, and it's a variance, the peeled logs and the regular logs, and of course all the planks. We're also going to be incorporating in some oak. I really like the way that those two materials work well together. They're both kind of warm based versus the cooler base of the dark oak and the yellow base of the birch. On the stone side, and this is right now, this part of the palette is all for buildings, just to be clear, and for walls that will be surrounding the village. Oh, I'm going to take care of this guy or he's going to come get me. There we go. He dropped a bunch of stuff. So we have the stones that we're going to be working with, the stones that we're going to be working with as well. Like we mentioned, the cobblestone and the mossy variant. So we're going to have to be collecting tons of vines. And I do think that Dan has a vine shop over in the shopping district. And that I think it's like a diamond for 64 vines. So that might actually be really worth it, or we can kind of grow, or maybe make a farm. That might be kind of a fun thing to do as well. We'll also be using stone and its variants, as well as the mossy stone version. And this will probably be maybe the separator between classes. So the cheaper buildings, the lower class are going to have the cobbles, and the upper class, the nicer buildings, might be using stone. We'll have to see how that works out. But we can also incorporate andesite and its smooth stone variant, and then we can use stone and the smooth stone variant, or I guess that's the chiseled andesite. And then we're going to get into the concretes, and this is going to be sort of the unusual part of this build, and may even be part of how we blend together the more modern building that I'm going to be building up here on top, and we'll talk more about that, I'm sure. But we'll be using the gray with the sandy concrete, the sandy concrete of black. We'll be using white bone blocks, probably even wool blocks here and there, depending. We could use like the whites for kind of the stuccos of the medieval buildings if we end up pushing the village towards that style. And then on the path side of it, you've seen some of the paths I've built already over at Spawn and now at the shopping district that are a little bit more using dirts and things like that to create the base of those with interspersed stones and those kinds of things. I think in this village, we're going to be almost exclusively using stones and variants of stone, all these other various ones, as well as granite. I want to incorporate granite for that kind of warmer texture that you typically get from something like dirt or coarse dirt. And then let's talk a little bit about the decoration. That's what all these things represent, the trapdoors and the barrels and grindstones and whatnot. We are going to be spending a lot of effort really decorating this place up. I really want this to be very kind of lived in feeling and have a lot of character to it. And so these things are going to be really important in terms of making this village really stand out, I think. And as part of that decoration, we also have to talk a little bit about vegetation. We're going to have a ton of leaves in there. Of course, we have birch, oak, and spruce. And I do like the color of the birch leaves. It does kind of match the green in this area a lot more than even the spruces do to some degree. So we'll have to really see how those textures fit into the city. And of course, we have berry bushes around here as well. So we'll be incorporating that and all the other typical vegetables and things like that, just to add a little bit of character. And then we have a list, kind of a last and final list of the things that I don't yet have collected, just because I haven't been able to get to them yet and include them. But once we do, we'll add them to the palette. And this palette will sit here for the better part of the season, unless it gets into the way of something that we're building up in here. So we can kind of come back and refer to it here and there. But I need to collect some coral. And the dead coral, when it turns gray, is a really good substitute and inclusion along with cobble. It kind of has a very similar character and texture to it, so it works well in buildings and on the ground plane. Live coral to add a little bit of color. I didn't really talk much about the color in here. That's kind of what this yellow represents. And if we do color in the city, it's going to be maybe a range of colors that are similar and or that are complementary of one another. So we could have like orange and yellow and red, or varieties of blue with green, something like that. Right now I only have yellow, so that's what that represents. And that we're definitely going to have to go collect a lot more colors, which is what I meant, which is what I'm talking to you about right here. Which is what this means right here, dyes for color. We just need to go grab lots of different things that we can dye and make colors and things out of. And then the last couple of important things is I want to get some bricks, and those are going to be super important into this build. They work really well with this granite, and it also works just really well with stone and other things like that. And so we'll be incorporating brick into this build quite a bit. Of course, I'm going to need tons of more wood, so we're going to be going out and chopping down lots and lots of trees. And then lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about maybe Prismarine, in particular dark Prismarine. It works really well as a kind of tiled roof texture that I think would work really well in kind of the upper end buildings that are also using stone. So we need to hopefully find someone who's going to build a guardian farm. Maybe we do it ourselves. I don't know, because we're going to need a ton of that Prismarine block. And so hopefully if they do have it, they sell it for a really good price because we're going to be buying lots and lots of it. So I think that is going to wrap up today's episode. Over the next several episodes, we're going to be clearing out this village and getting some stuff built. We are going to build a new redstone shop over in the shopping district to go along with killer bees. Of course, we need to stock killer bees and keep it in stock, so we'll be doing a fair amount of that. And then lastly, we are going to build another build over in Chunktown. Liara has put in a lot of effort to define all the chunks over there, and so we're just going to continue building a new building over there every now and then throughout the season to go ahead and build that area up. I'm pretty excited about that. I think that will be a lot of fun. We will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.